Hello everyone and welcome back to Austin Talks, where today we have got a really interesting a video that I never thought I'd actually do, but I thought it would be a good idea, so here it is. So, as you know, I've rated the DC movies, the Marvel movies. Might as well do the Transformers verse, am I right? There have been quite a few projects, and the Transformers verse is quite big, so no, I think it's time that we rate that as well. So, without further ado, I think we should just get right into it and into the glory that is the Transformers universe. Now, the first, obviously, is movies, and in the fifth, we have Revenge of the Fallen. Now, this movie did really complement the first movie, and it did further explore the lore of the ancient beings such as the Fallen, which I think was actually quite good. And then we also got new characters introduced like Jetfire and RC, and while they didn't last long, Jetfire especially, it was a really good cameo because Jetfire really did reinforce that lore of ancient beings on Cybertron. Now, this movie does push aside this movie and the Transformers one is really pushed aside when Dark of the Moon comes round, but it does create a very bigger storyline and franchise. So as much as it is, this is not my proper favorite. It does need to be recognized that it did justify the establishment of the movies, which I think is a good groundwork for that. So number 4 we have Rise of the Beast. If you've watched the channel before and you've been a fan before, obviously I like this movie, and I've said what I think about this movie, but I will say it again. It was a good introduction to a new established universe, and it also gave the world a whole new established universe, as I said, and it gave the fans the villain that they should have had all along, which is Unicron. And the way that this newly established universe could have been doing could be better, but again, it is an introduction, so I'm letting things slide for now. But this movie does need credit. This movie does need more credit than people are giving it. People think it's not a well-established universe. I have to disagree. I think it is a good universe, but the G.I. Joe thing was really confusing, but it is good. Don't be just because if you enjoyed the old ones, I understand why you wouldn't like this one, but it is good. Don't be slamming it because of that. But yeah, Rise of the Beast is really, we're introduced to a whole new group of people. The animatronics really good. I think Optimus Primal is probably the best out of that bunch, as I've said before. And we're also introduced to the Terracons, who are later then established as the Decepticons. But even the main villain, which was, and I've forgotten his name, but even the main villain was really menacing, and then we've got humor into it. So I think this is a really good new universe, and I think they should stick with it, to be fair. But this doesn't match Dark of the Moon. Dark of the Moon is wow. Now, in this movie, we had many more introductions to many good characters and many more characters, like Mirage, who may have lasted 3 minutes, but we move, and Sentinel Prime. Now, this specific character named Sentinel Prime actually was introduced into this, but it really did enrich what I meant by the ancient beings, and it does really complement it, and it did enrich the storyline because it gave more context to the meaning of Prime. And that was reflected when he joined the Decepticons, because when he said, I did what I had to be done, that's referring to his own prophecy. Because every Transformer, including Prime, has their own prophecy, and Sentinel Prime did, do that. And this is why I think revolving around the idea of the meaning of Prime, which I covered in my Rise of because we've got Optimus Primal, Sentinel Prime, Optimus Prime, and then we've got Primus, who was the originating Prime of all of the Transformers. So they're really integrating that Transformers lore, which is constantly being referred back to, showing the actual context is real and not fake. And the storyline did change the tone from the previous movies, as I said when I was talking about Revenge of the Fallen. But this tone and genre are very carried over to Age of Extinction, which was actually a really good movie / sequel. Amazing movie, in fact. People definitely disagree with me when I say that, but it was good. Now, I know people are going to think that this is weird, but I enjoyed it. I like Mark Wahlberg, but besides that's besides the point. He was awful in the next movie. We basically got a new retconned universe with the new characters like Lockdown, Crosshair, Hound, and Drift, and those were really good characters. And like these, the designs of them are so amazing, and the storyline was well like put together. And I like that they brought the modern world to the Transformers instead of them working alongside them. Like they brought the modern world to the Transformers instead of like working alongside them. And what I mean by that is that the Transformers they were being hunted by the humans instead of working with them, and then they were trying to be modified so that they could become different. Yeah, and I think that's like a really cool thing. And like the Transformers, they try to control them and create their own, which is actually really realistic to the world that we live in today. Because if we had Transformers, we would definitely try and be like, oh yeah, we need to weaponize this and modify it. Because people say movies don't come to life, and if you say it's not like the movies, in real life, if you saw this thing, immediately you would either want to use it or fight it. Because no one is going to be like, oh yeah, I want to be friends with that thing. It's about 10 times your size. You don't want to be friends with that thing. Oh, hell no. Now we also had a proper introduction to the Dinobots, which is actually really cool. And while they are only there for like 10 minutes max, they were actually still well shown. But I do think they should have been in there for a bit longer. Dinobots they're cool. They should have been in the last night, but obviously that movie reeks of disappointment. But yeah, like honestly, I think this movie is a great representation. I mean, honestly, I don't. But the one thing I think is not realistic is the lockdown. They just wouldn't work with them. Just no. Now, top one, Bumblebee. Now, you may think this is really common because this is a lot of other people's favorites. It was good though. It really was. Now, Bumblebee is incredibly underrated, but on so many levels. And this movie does change the whole idea of Transformers movies, and that is what actually makes it probably the best. And from this, I think there is only another way to go, which is an Optimus Prime solo movie. I think that's like a well in order in our favor. Now, the actors really do portray the humans in a very valued way, which was the one thing that was actually flawed in the other movies, that was actually kind of changed in Rise of the Beast. Why I'm saying it shouldn't be like slam dunked. Now, and I think that this was a good way forward to introduce to the movie, which gave context to the War of Cybertron, and at the time, it was linked to the other movies, which is also explained the year's worth of conflict, another reason why it is truly the best. Bumblebee is linked to Rise of the Beasts, and this really set the whole universe. I mean, even though it takes place at the time when it released, it said it takes place between all of it. It gave context no matter what timeline it was from. So I think it's like amazing, and I think this is the way forward to have like solo movie, the group movie. So we need another solo movie now, which I think is a very good way to go. Like have them in like anthology, like Star Wars did. And I think that's a really good way forward. And like an Optimus Prime solo movie, well in order, people, well in order. Now, like if you watch the other videos, you know there's always going to be honorable mentions because there always is some good ones that need to be recognized. And there's actually some pretty good ones in here. One of which are awful, but I had to put them somewhere. So, well, actually, there's only two because there's only 7 movies. So, one of them's good, one of them is awful. And the good one is the original Transformers movie, so I think you can guess which the other one is. Yeah, Transformers, the first one, is pretty good. Now, this movie was great, and I do consider it an honorable mention because it was brought to the theaters based on the years of animation before. And it was a franchise that was still on, and it's still a franchise that's going on today with animation, but like they based this off animation, and the attention to detail was amazing. this movie did set the tone for the next movies, which is a constant recurring element in the in this universe. Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon, is as much as the quality diverted from this. I think that the common grounds of this movie have been really carried. The lore has been carried from the Transformers movie to all the way to the Rise of the Beast, let alone the timeline change. So I think that Megatron's character arc was really bad, and that was kind of changed in Revenge of the Fallen when he just wanted power. In this movie, it was basically pointless, but Bumblebee and especially Optimus was the best, and it was a great introduction to the other movies. And I think, honestly, give this a good watch. Give this a watch. But the one movie you should not watch is this. Oh my god, what a monstrosity. I'm sorry, but I have to say this. This was a disgrace and the most pointless movie ever to exist in a continuity series. I mean, it wasn't pointless. I want to say it's in the middle. It's pointless, but it's also not. But but the way that they executed it was just awful. It was a very good addition to the storyline, but it was awfully executed. The Last Knight did really try and integrate Transformers lore with the planet, but failed drastically. Cybertron and then more. They tried to integrate having new Transformers and that's not that hard, mainly because that's what they did with the other movies. Why can't I speak today? It's what they did with the other movies. So tell me this. How did this one flop so hard? The only decent aspect was the designs of the characters and Megatron's crew. Those were cool. But other than that, this movie was awful. Case closed. If there's anyone in the comments below that thinks this is a good movie, do let me know. Obviously, I'm just curious, but I personally hated it. Awful. Now, we are on to TV shows. I just want to bear in mind there is not a lot of TV shows. There is really not. There's I've got 4 on here. I've got 3 series that I think are quite good, and then 1 an honorable mention. So yeah, and I think you could, if any of you know me, then you know what the top 1 is. So without further ado, the top 3 is Robots in Disguise. The Robots in Disguise is probably the most established, well-known Transformers series in the world, but it still isn't the best personally. This is all personal, remember that. But it continued with the classical franchise, but it changed over time, making it extremely popular. But popularity doesn't mean it's the best, just because it was popular. I mean, it's the same thing as when there's a movie with box office. Box office means you go to the cinema to see it, which people wanted to go and see more. That doesn't explain a lot. If you go to Rotten Tomatoes and then you see, oh yeah, this movie didn't receive well, that doesn't mean the box office establishes that it's better. It's just more popular. But popularity, as I say, doesn't mean it's the best. Comparing animations to other series, it is very decent and cartoony, which I like it. But as I say, it isn't the best. But the action figures for this are actually really cool. They are perfection. There's no other thing that will change that. Now, lastly, the Bumblebee is actually the best character. The storyline is pretty good, and the designs are of the characters are really. They're not really badly animated, but they're really good. They're Ben 10 style. Yeah, I'm yet to watch the rest of this series. I still have to watch more, but it's actually not half bad. Now, this was I don't know how I feel about this one, but it's actually good. It's good. That's why I left it in 2. Now, this series is more of a modern day version of Transformers Prime, which is basically just Transformers Prime because it's very modern. But the characters are very similar to the ones in Transformers Prime, but the one thing that I like about this show is it is a mix. While I've expressed love for Transformers Prime in the past, or should I just say now, this does lie in between this and the live action movies because of the tone. A very good tone and a very good storyline. And the dramatic tone of that resonates in the other movies is very clearly shown in this show. but the same family-friendly content is still shown in the show because the storyline is still there, but it's still cartoonish like a regular other. And I also like how the humans are almost like Transformers, or they've got really cool suits. And the characters, I mean, Bumblebee is like, he's cool. He's at me. Honestly, Bumblebee's cool in everything. He just is. He's just, even if he's just there, he's just the best dude ever. Now, as I've just said, Transformers Prime is the best. I watched this so many times, but it still lives up to its name, Prime. And that just sounds like the energy drink now. But it has many different stories, but the first season was definitely the best. Now, like with Cliff Jumper and all that. Now, I would rate this series over the live action series all day long, because the storyline when it comes to the Transformers is rich, and its established friendship with the humans is something that is really flawed in the other movies. But that's the best. This is the best. It is the best out of both of them, because the human interactions are very good and cherished in this as well. And the theme song is so good. It says very good, and the characters are perfect as well. You make it makes this it does make it all the best. And I also like how the storyline Bumblebee's got a flawed what's it called? A flawed personality in this, and then Optimus Prime thinks it's all up to him, but he keeps on forgetting he has a team. And Ratchet, okay, in this, Ratchet is the best. He just is. And then we have Cliff Jumper, a really other flawed character, and I like the chemistry between him and RC. And I mean, okay, Ratchet's the really cool guy. The funny dude is, what's his name? No, I need to find this out. No, hang on. I'm trying to think. I will remember. Right. No, I'm going near deep into my brain, into the brain. Come on. Right. I don't want to say it's Hound. I don't think it is. Oh, come on. No. I think I can see. Oh, what's his name? Oh my god. Bulkhead. Nailed it. Oh, that was a rough 2 minutes. That was a rough 2 minutes of me trying to think of who that is. But it's Bulkhead, everyone. It's him. Yeah, he was funny. He was a really good, he was a really good laugh, and I think he was a really good character. There's no doubt about that. Now, honorable mentions. Yeah, honestly, there's some good the characters for this one. There's definitely some good characters, and good characters for this next one that I'm talking about, which is Transformers Animated. Now, I like this series because it gives me a sense of nostalgia, but not only for the original franchise, which it really does very much reflect, but for the Ben 10 shows and the animated shows that are very similar to this. The storyline is pretty much the same as every other Transformers movies and shows. And while it isn't the original in the sense of the storyline, it is very the same as others. It does live up to it more under the name animated, and the designs of the characters are amazing, and that will never change. The animation, cartoon, and designs all go complemented so well. And I'd actually say, I think you know who my favorite character of this is. If you've heard through this whole video, I'm saying it's what's his name? Bumblebee. I mean, just the vibrant yellow is actually just so good. Now, my overall rating. Now, I don't care about the math. This is just my rating. 8 out of 10. This rating does take into account everything that has happened in this world, in the Transformers world, and how it has changed. And it is different, and that is why I'm actually rating it this way. But this does, and while this does seem negative, I know 8 out of 10 is not the greatest. It's about 4 out of 5. It isn't by negative by any means. The franchise is it's good, and it's pretty long lasting, to be fair, which is something that can't be said for others. I can name quite a few right now if you wanted me to. But it recently has been broken down into a built back up, which is really not easy to do. They'll break it down and they'll say, all right, we'll build it back up, but they never do. But these people, like the Transformers franchise, was a really hard thing to build back up, which is why I think this is a really this is a mad praise. And I think 8 out of 10 is quite I'd say it is low, but that is taken into account beforehand because I have to. But still, it's good. It's good. There's no doubt about that. Right, everyone, that is the end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you enjoy the Transformers universe, just let me know. And if you think there's anything I've missed or other shows and movies that I've misjudged, please do let me know in the comments and let me know your opinions. I'd always like to start some opinionated convos with people. But without further ado, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe and comment what else you would like to see on the channel. And without further ado, I hope you all have a great day. Bye.